Yeah, well, at the end of the day, you want to do whatever it takes to win the game. It's a tough league, played by tough people, and they had a really, tough defense. They were stout. They played really well. They played the pass well. They played the run well. Had a hard time getting the run game going, and then, we turned the ball over 3 times in the air. So that's never going to be, the recipe for success. But when you flip the other side of the field, our defense, gets 5 turnovers, and, one goes for another touchdown, and that just changes the game. I mean, when we keep getting the ball back in good field position, eventually, we got to score, and that's what we were able to do today.
Oh, you guys finished the game with 24 unanswered points scored. What was the turning point and the key to the game flipping in your favor?
Well, honestly, I felt like the second half the defense, played lights out. Felt like it kept, turning the ball over to us, and then Marvin kept returning punts. And so when you have good field position, like I said, eventually we got to do something with it. And we could have even done more offensively with those with that field position, but we just got to clean up some things. I got to be better. We got to do a good job of handling the short week and fixing the the stuff. But it's not like it's this hasn't been all year, so it's been the last couple of games. We got to get back to what we were doing a few weeks before, and then I think we'll be in good shape.
Bodie, right? Just kind of can you walk me through your process after something happens on the field when you're looking at the tablet with Davis? How does that go?
So usually, I just want to see if what I saw was, accurate, and what, what could have been different, what changed. And, sometimes with the tablet, you only see pictures, so it's tough. You don't really know until you watch it tomorrow. But, usually it's enough you can see to where, if they're doing something, a tendency, and, usually like today they made a couple good plays, and, just like, well, I got to see that and, not throw it. So usually it's stuff like that. But got to get back to, taking care of the football, having explosives, good completion percentage, and then, we'll be in good shape.
You've been doing this long enough to know this game can be cruel and will break you if you let it. McGlinchey was just commenting and praising you for basically saying you didn't have the game you wanted, but you were tough enough to get through it. So as opposed to the tablet, after the second pick or third pick or whatever, when you go sit down, what's your inner voice, or is there inner voice, or you just forget it and drive on? What do you do?
Well, that's a great question, a very deep question. So the first one, it happens fast, whatever. The second one happens, wasn't a very good throw, so you get over there and you're like, what am I doing? That was, a bad play. And then the third one, the guy jumped it, honestly made a really good defensive play. I was like, was I late? What could I have done differently? But I thought, sometimes those guys make good plays. And but regardless, that's 3, and it gets to where you feel like, man, every time I throw it, is it going to be picked? And, you start having those mental thoughts. But it's, it's challenging. It's probably the toughest part of our position because, you know what you're capable of. That, the read, how to, your footwork, how to go through it. And then, you just got to keep from being gun shy and keep from being don't let one turn into another, false vision and just see things that aren't actually there. And, I felt like I saw the game well today, but, that didn't keep me from, not turning the ball over. So, what is it? I got to, get back to the sideline and regroup. And I feel like the guys over there do a great job of keeping me encouraged and, reminding me that it's a long game. Go out there and do what you do. But it's I'm not going to lie, it's tough. You start getting a little bit in your head, and you start questioning, what am I actually seeing it? Am I, what was that? And so it's tough, but we're all, I feel like everybody goes through it. So the ones that can get out of it and finish the game and win and not let it, dictate the outcome of the game, that's usually when you find some maturity and you find some growth. And that, I just got to continue to do that. Unfortunately, it's not the first time I've thrown 3 in a game. It's not. Hopefully, it's not going to be the last, or hopefully it's the last. But probably, football will tell you it's not going to be if you play it long enough. So, just got to move on to the next play and get the next completion.
But in general, what are your conversations like when your receivers drop what you think is a catchable pass, and on a day when you're maybe not, having your best day protecting it because of those interceptions? Are you a little more reluctant to say something, or is it?
Absolutely not. If I'm playing, like I did today, I got no say on that sideline to, catch a ball or whatever. Like, I'm doing nothing for them, not helping them at all. So, I'd be kind of a loser if I said something. But I think as a group, just got to resettle and get back to doing the things we're good at, and that's throwing and catching. And practice will be good for us this week. I think we'll respond well.
Bo, it is the first winning record the Broncos have had since 2016. So there's some positives, very positives, to take away from that. So how do you balance that? And does this change any expectations that you've had at all now that it's a real thing, that you guys at least have gotten to this point?
Well, I think it speaks to our team. It speaks to what we've been able to do this year, what we've overcome, the adversity we've gone through, and in a game like today, we felt like down there for a while, especially the first half, and good teams respond on a day like today. I mean, good teams find ways to win, and playoffs teams find ways to win these close ones, and I felt like that's what we did. So it's a sign of a good football team, and we have that. We have a really good defense who played outstanding again today. They're going to continue to play well, and then special teams, they gave us a spark in the second half, and then offense, we finally did what we were supposed to do, and we finished some drives and got the ball in the end zone. So it's a team effort, but I feel like it's a good sign. Sign of a good team. It's a good sign that we're winning these close games, the tough ones that don't necessarily look pretty, but we're just finding ways to win.
Right off the top, Sean talked about he needed to be better, and then when he was asked about your picks, he said one of them was definitely on him, or a couple were definitely on him. One, he said you would like to have had back. But like when you then have that pass to Cortland where he's so wide open, or when you have those play calls, like, oh, this is going to work. Kind of what's that, I guess, thought process as it's about to unfold?
Well, we just you got to trust the plan. Usually the game is called and the game is won in the first 6 days prior to the game. You got the plan, you got the game plan, and usually you did that in a stress-free environment. You did it when it was calm. You watched the film. You got the plays that you feel good about, and then you got there and you attempt to execute it. And we executed certain plays well, and then we didn't execute others. So overall, whatever plan they give us, it's our job as players to go out there and make sure the play works. And so if it's not there, then we got to protect the play call, and if it's there, we got to hit it. So there's a lot that goes into it, but I feel like we'll just adjust and continue to move forward and find ways to win.